Buffalo, the New Jersey Devils wouldn't be opposed to moving down in the 2018 NHL Draft if it meant obtaining additional assets, General Manager Ray Shero told NHL.com on Saturday. The Devils hold 6 picks in the draft, including one, number 17, in the first 3 rounds. That's a reversal from the 11 picks they made at the 2017 NHL Draft, including center Nico Hischier with the no choice after winning the NHL Draft Lottery. If you're going to move up, great, but what's the cost to move up, Shero said. Hey, we'd love to move down and get more assets, but you're never going to know that until you're on the draft floor and it's coming to your pick. The Devils finished the 1st of April 10 in their final 15 regular season games to clinch a berth in the Stanley Cup playoffs for the first time in 6 seasons. Despite a 5-game loss to the Tampa Bay Lightning in the Eastern Conference first round, the rebuild appears to be in full swing. There were a lot of positives from last season, but there's always going to be change to your roster whether you win the Stanley Cup or not, Shero said. We obviously want to be in position to sign Taylor Hall a year from now, and that contract would kick in 2020-21, the same season Hischier becomes a restricted free agent. So we have to be careful what we are doing beyond 2 years. Hall can become an unrestricted free agent July 1, 2020. In an exclusive interview with the 2018 NHL Scouting Combine, Shero provided some answers to a few intriguing questions. At the end of the 2016-17 season, you had a 4-hour discussion with Hall involving his role on the team and how you expected more from him. Did you have any similar discussion with another player on the roster at the end of this season? Well, it probably wasn't the type of conversation I had with Taylor, but I had a pretty frank discussion with goalie Cory Schneider after the season. I basically have higher expectations for him and so does he. I was real supportive in having this hip surgery done when it was done. Any sort of ailment that can take away from him being his best is an issue, but we need better and he knows that. But it's not like I'm mad at him. It's just something needs to change. Whether it's how he trains in the summer or something. When you turn 30+ years old, guys need to do things differently. Lee Stempniak is a great example. The season before he came to New Jersey, 2015-16, he started doing Pilates for the first time in his life, for a year, and he felt he had so much more energy, and played 63 games with the Devils. He had always been in good shape but didn't feel right, so he did something different. Anyway, there's a lot of support for Cory. We all want him to be the best he can be. He's insightful and wants to redeem himself next season. I'm hoping the surgery will provide him every avenue to do that. I thought it was a really good conversation and I think he thinks the same thing. It was really productive and honest back-and-forth dialogue. Do you have any interest in acquiring free agent forward Ilya Kovalchuk, who can sign with any NHL team? I've not reached out to Kovalchuk's representatives and I've not heard from them, so there you go. Hall had surgery to repair torn ligaments in his left hand, Schneider had surgery to repair torn cartilage in his left hip, and Patrick Maroon had surgery to repair a herniated disc in his back. Can you update the status of all 3 players? I talked to Devils athletic trainer Kevin Morley last Tuesday and all 3 are doing well. Kevin saw Cory that day and said he's feeling good. I won't know if Schneider will be ready for the start of training camp until we get closer and as we go through the summertime to see how he's doing. I'm happy he had it done. Nashville Predators goalie Pekka Rinne had the same surgery done in 2013, and he's up for the Vezina Trophy this year. He'd return sooner or at the tail end of the 5-month window. It's training camp and not the middle of the season, so we're not going to rush it. We want to make sure it heals properly. Coach John Hines was up to see Hall this week and he told me everything is going well. In Hall's case, everything points to him being ready for the start of training camp. Maroon is going to come back to New Jersey on June 11th to make sure everything is going well. Do you know the type of player you might be targeting with the no 17 pick. I talked to Director of Amateur Scouting, Paul Castron, and Assistant Director of Amateur Scouting, Gates Orlando after all the interviews at the Combine. We discussed interests and red flags, and we'll discuss the number 17 pick over the next few weeks. We'll have certain players in mind, but things change. Everybody wants to move down until they don't want to move down, and you won't find that out until the draft starts. Nobody is moving down before the draft starts. There's a lot of time for that, and other teams are doing the same thing with their lists and due diligence. Follow-up interviews are usually scheduled, and testing and reports could impact things too, before the draft. There are players who didn't attend the Combine who will be interviewed as well. Jeff Ward did wonders for New Jersey's power play as an assistant coach the past 2 seasons. Ward was hired as associate coach by the Calgary Flames on May 31st. Do you and Hines have a replacement in mind? I'm happy for Jeff. He had another year on his contract here and we would have loved to have him back. At the same time, he was named associate coach and got a 3-year deal. I'm happy for him and his family. For us, this has been ongoing for the last week to 10 days. Myself and Hines are talking about it. We'll talk to assistant coach Ryan Kalau, for sure, to remain on board. We really liked what he did in 2 years and we think he has a really big upside. We've gotten good feedback from players, but at the same time, we'll see where he wants to take his career. We're not going to rush it, but we'll start that next week, collect their thoughts and see where we are. We have to gauge areas we need to strengthen with Jeff gone. We'll get lots of calls, as we have, but we haven't acted on it yet. We'll see where we go over the next week or two. The Devils will travel to Bern, Switzerland, to play an exhibition game against Bern on October 1 at Post Finance Arena as part of the 2018 NHL Global Series Challenge. You will then open the 2018-19 regular season against the Edmonton Oilers in Gothenburg, Sweden, on October 6 at the Scandinavium in the 2018 NHL Global Series. How excited are you for these events? I was thrilled when we went to Prince Edward Island, Canada, to play the Ottawa Senators as part of 2017 Craft Hockeyville, Canada. It was great exposure for our players and the Devils, and now, internationally, it's nice to be recognized like this. I was fortunate, as Pittsburgh Penguins GM, to be a part of that with an exhibition game in Helsinki, Finland, and 2 regular season games in Stockholm, Sweden, to begin the season. It was a great experience for the players, and I think it's great for your brand, great for the league. We're really looking forward to it. I was really excited when it was a possibility and am really happy that we were chosen to do it.